First of all, I would like to thank all the participants who are present here today from all around the world. And also I would like to thank the member of Federation for International Nepalese Students for organizing this lecture series, Adhyapan, and making me part of this wonderful session. Okay, the first question I have is for Professor Devendra Thapa.
So it's a very challenging question, because if I solve this, I'll get the Nobel Prize. Actually. Anyway, I'll try to say something. As I said earlier, this is where we don't have freedom of choice. And then to get this freedom of choice, actually, it's not just me doing something, but it needs overall, actually, it's a political will, and then public-private institutions, they all need to cooperate and collaborate, right? So okay, I can give one example is actually, if you know about OLE, that's Open Learning Exchange, right? What they're doing is they're getting this OLPC, this very cheap computers, right? Green, maybe AXU computers. And I'm telling you, it's a very temporary, right? For the long, sustainable, the government intervention is very important, and it's not possible without that. But for the short term, like this kind of OLPC project, they provide this kind of laptop. So this laptop, they can actually, the student can take home. And at least they have also designed some courses, syllabus from 6 to 10 classes. So they can actually sit at home, and then they can do it by themselves, right? Which is a very temporary thing, because to actually, even in Norway, we are facing the challenge right now. They have a lot of resources here. But it's not just getting access to the resources. The problem is whether they're learning it properly, right? That's another question. Even in Nepal, let's say those who have access, are they really learning? Or just sitting in front of computers and then just one way lecturing, and then they're sleeping or thinking, or I don't know what they're doing. Sometimes it happens with me when I see there's no face on the screen in the Zoom. And then if I ask question, it seems like they're sleeping, or maybe whether it's a man that side or dog. That's a big challenge. Even if you provide these resources, the question comes, what kind of pedagogy we need to actually bring, right? Pedagogical changes, so that even if it's online, they should feel that I'm connected with the teacher. So this connection is somehow missing, even in developed countries. That's the problem. So and everyone is thinking right now how to actually design new kind of pedagogical approaches so that they feel more connected, engaged. And this thing is this online, just giving online is education is actually detaching this body with the reality, and that's not good actually, right? This is another challenge. But the challenge you are saying is that's a very, very systemic challenge, as the Fridge of Capra says. It's a systemic, means it's not only the school or the parents or or some private organization, some private school, but it needs overall approach, and it should come from the government, right? Yeah, that's my answer, and I know everyone will get disappointed with this answer, including me. That's a great question. And actually, I have written a note. As I mentioned in the note, I said globalization can actually provide the possibilities, but at the same time, it shrink the possibilities, right? So for example, if you just take this this COVID-19 example, because of this globalization, you see how the tourism has been hampered in Nepal. Okay, that's a separate thing. But it's about identity. That's a great question, and it's a very philosophical question, right? And this is what I'm pondering right now. And maybe I'll meet you someday in Kathmandu, and we can sit in some coffee house, we can talk for a whole day, and maybe we can understand these things. But it's a really, really big challenge about identity, right? So the question comes, in our education system, when we are providing education, what kind of education should we provide from the beginning? Because it's more about changing your mind, it's changing the algorithm in your mind. I have seen that. Like my kids are one of my kids. They studied in IB schools. Maybe you guys know about that. So they have very different pedagogy. So in that pedagogy, from the beginning, they actually learn about different religion, secular views, open discussion about these things from the beginning, from 5th or 6th level, right? And then from that, I saw like they have a wider perspective. So they don't care too much about the color, race, or religion. I think we need that kind of education from the beginning in our country as well. You see, this is missing somewhere. This is where I say we need the pedagogy, different pedagogy, the old style of going into school, even if you are using laptop and then you're writing on the board, answer. So this is not going to change this mentally. This will create more and more, people are not informed, critical thinking China. Critical thinking now that social media create so that's really dividing, creating different kind of paradigm. अनि त्यहाँबाट चाहिँ त्यो अनलाइनको झगडा चाहिँ अफलाइनमा पनि गइरहेछ. That's bad. So I think education is the only remedy right now I can see, and even from the beginning. अहिलेको टेक्नोलोजीको प्रब्लम challenge के छ भने the old technology मा के हुन्थ्यो भने you are just interacting with some object. So तपाईको body मात्रै interact गरिरहेको हुन्थ्यो. अहिले problem के छ भने we are interacting with our mind. So the technology is directly changing your mind. Psychological change आइरहेछ के, and that is a bit dangerous for the coming future if we will not educate our kids from the beginning. अनि त्यो सबै भएन भने चाहिँ it will create more and more a class of civilization भने चाहिँ नि हाम्रो चाहिँ Huntingtonले. So that's going to happen, that his hypothesis will be true, unfortunately. So maybe people like you and me and young beautiful minds, it's your responsibility now how you can actually learn these things, educate the society, and prepare the new generation. Let's say I'm very optimistically here when I say if we start right now, next 50 years we might have very different society and different thinking. So that we have to start right now. If we just keep on poking the problem, we will never get the solution. So we need to start right now.
So 2000, so I already published my paper. So we have to change traditional education system into ICT-based education system, because so we are changing traditional into ICT-based education system, but not online. Then we are using the multimedia system in our classroom. We have another ICT tools also using in the classes. But in 2006, e-government master plan already mentioned about the e-learning environment infrastructure development in our country. But किन भयो भन्दाखेरि अब एउटा सरकारको पनि गल्ती नै देखियो नि त यहाँ, किनभने सरकारले टाइममा त्यसलाई इम्प्लिमेन्टेसन गरेन, इन्फ्रास्ट्रक्चरहरू डेभलप गरेन. अब हाम्रो के छ भन्दाखेरि समस्या आएपछि मात्र समाधान गर्नेतिर लाग्यो भने this is the problem. That's why so that we need to develop such type of infrastructure, and we need to develop some monitoring team, evaluation team also. These are the few things we have to do in our country. Then after that, it is easily to implement, and easily we are using such type of technology nowadays. If we develop such type of, and if COVID or maybe such any type of problems if created in the society or maybe nation, we can easily going on. That's why, yeah. But in the short time already we develop the online environment system in our country, like in Tribhuvan University and then Kathmandu University also, and some another university in Nepal also. They are providing the online education system. They are developing some infrastructure by using the cloud-based e-learning system. Thank you. किन भन्दाखेरि अब नेपालमा प्रोटेक्सन एक्ट, किनभने हाम्रो साइबर सिक्युरिटीको ल नि हामीसँग पास भएको छैन के, त्यो चाहिँ अब 2016 मा नेपाल टेलिकम अथोरिटीले चाहिँ त्यसको लागि पोलिसी बनाएर चाहिँ पठाएको हैन मन्त्रालय थ्रुबाट. अब त्यस्तो खालको नभएपछि के हुने भयो भन्दाखेरि समस्या चाहिँ त्यहाँ देखियो, किन भन्दाखेरि प्रोटेक्सन एक्टहरु प्रभावकारी रूपमा बनेको पनि छैन अहिलेसम्म हैन. अब नेपालको साइबर सिक्युरिटी ल राम्रो प्रभावकारी नभएपछि त प्रोटेक्सन एक्टहरु नआउने भइहाल्यो. कपिराइट एक्टहरु, कपिराइटको लहरु यिनीहरु चाहिँ छ हैन, डिजिटल सिग्नेचर, तर त्यसको प्रभावकारीको चाहिँ हाम्रो पोलिसी र प्लान प्लानहरु र एक्टहरु चाहिँ बनेको छैन किनभने त्यसले गर्दाखेरि हाम्रो सेक्युरिटीमा प्रब्लम भयो नि तपाईले सुन्नु भएकै होला सर्टेन डेज अगाडि वेबसाइटहरु ह्याक भयो कति कुराहरु हैन त्यसकारण चाहिँ अब हाम्रो सेक्युरिटी मेजर पनि छैन एक त हैन सेक्युरिटी अडिट पनि कमजोर भयो यसले गर्दाखेरि अब त्यसले गर्दाखेरि डाटा प्रोटेक्सन चाहिँ त्यो लाई चाहिँ छुट्टै ल र पोलिसी इज द मोस्ट इम्पोर्टेन्ट त्यो चाहिँ अब गभर्नमेन्टले एकदम स्ट्रङली त्यसलाई अपनाउनु पर्छ र त्यसलाई चाहिँ राम्रोसँग प्रभावकारी रूपमा त्यसलाई इम्प्लिमेन्ट पनि गर्नुपर्छ र बनाउनु पनि पर्छ त्यसकारण त्यो चाहिँ हो थ्यांक यू
Digital divide is, when it started with the history of digital divide is at the beginning we used to think that digital divide means those who have access to internet or those who have not access to internet, right? This thing is actually no more just digital divide, because many if you look into the Nepal also millions of people has this access to smartphones or whatever handheld devices that cheap access cha अब के भन्छ digital divide को concept चाहिँ increase हुँदै गइरहेछ के as someone mentioned about the caste system, the identity. So त्यस्तो त्यो चेन्ज भइरहेछ अहिले तपाईको एउटा even digital world मा पनि के भइरहेछ भने someone who has access to digital resources and those who doesn't have access, even you have access to internet but you don't have access to resources, so they have a divide भइरहेछ. So it's again you guys are raising such a difficult challenge. Like I don't have an answer for that. I don't have like okay do A B C D to get this digital divide fixed. I can only say that digital divide, the concept has actually it has been gone beyond the access to the internet or the online resources. यहाँ चाहिँ digital divide धेरै भइरहेछ न inequality भइरहेछ हैन तपाईको चाहिँ डिसेबल मान्छेहरु जुन छन् उनीहरुको लागि चाहिँ टेक्नोलोजी त्यसरी डिजाइन गर्दैन हामीले. If you come to Norway, you'll see all buildings and then buses and computer systems, everything is designed in such an inclusive way. Even the disabled person level they can use. हाम्रो country को context में हेर्नु भयो भने disabled people are like they are like object, right? Which is not a normal human being. This is a treat गर्छ हो. बसमा चाहिँ तपाईको कुरै छोड्दिनुस् बसमा कसरी चाहिँ उनीहरुलाई छुट्टै ठाउँमा बनाउने बिल्डिङ कसरी इन्क्लुसिभ बनाउने. It come from everywhere. त सबभन्दा पहिला त त्यही हो एजुकेसन बेसिक लेभलबाट अहिले हामीले एजुकेसनमा चाहिँ जोड दिएन भने तपाई माथि जति कराउनु जेसुकै गर्नु जनता डिसिप्लिन छैन, they are not aware about these things, nothing is going to change. That's my last statement actually. Overload, information overload, and how to protect your, this comes to the information security. So how to protect our privacy is in our hand, okay? And not in our hand, I'm very sorry, in our hand a little bit. If you're aware, then you may be less trapped, but if you're not aware, then you're always trapped in this. So surveillance capitalism is actually, the whole idea of capitalism is to make money, right? To make money, there is competition, fair competition, and the consumer लाई पनि फाइदा हुन्छ sometimes, sometimes monopoly हुन दिदैन कहीं हुन्छ. The surveillance capital is very dangerous. This is not only making money, but it's also keeping track of your each and every moment. This is information overload consequences. So what's happening is if I'm using Facebook or Google or Netflix or whatever, YouTube, you see, maybe you have seen that you suddenly get the recommendation or watch this video or buy this one. The reason, because this cyber world has more information about you than ourselves. Okay, so यसको चाहिँ अहिले के छ भन्नुहुन्छ नि, it's a very, 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 very difficult challenge. As Prajwal says, it's a philosophical question. Of course, it's a philosophical question. So जबसम्म सबैमा चाहिँ awareness आउँदैन, and if we don't start asking about the policies, just तपाईँको Google को policy or Facebook को policy, what kind of policies they are having. जस्तै युरोपमा अहिले GDPR भन्ने छ के तपाईँको Data Protection Act हो हैन. So that also try to actually limit the freedom of this big organization. but garo cha, because we are now completely transformed, and we like when we get the online suggestions, right? Because we get a recommendation and we don't need to explore here and there. We say, oh, fine, just go with this one. But this consequences case of we are surveillance is going on all the time. You're actually under radar. And I have no idea how to get rid of these things. The only thing we can do is once we become the digitally aware, educated, maybe in long run, then when all people get educated, the के हुन्छ अरे भने एउटा प्रोसेस के छ भने थियरी तपाईको चाहिँ गभर्नेन्स अफ कमन्समा के थियरी छ भने जब सबैले चाहिँ गर्न थाल्छ, then they create the police. Okay, the society ले आफै एउटा कन्ट्र्याक्ट बनाएर, virtual society ले एउटा कन्ट्र्याक्ट बनाएर they create their own police, so they can actually keep track of how to get rid of this kind of overloading or surveillance of data, Privacy Act, etc., etc. It will take time. It's a good question.
Okay, Devendra, I can add something. Yeah.
Please.
Already mentioned about the awareness is the most important, and then after that, policy plan need to be developed. Yeah, किनभने हाम्रो नेपालमा policy plan रो यो protection को बारेमा त्यो कुराहरु अघि पनि मैले सोध्नु भयो भन्दाखेरि मैले त्यसको आन्सर पनि दिएको हो हैन। त्यसकारण चाहिँ यो प्रोटेक्सनहरु त्यसपछि आएर देन इथिकल फ्रेमवर्कहरु अवेयरनेसहरु चाहिँ धेरै इम्पोर्टेन्ट हुन सक्छ, किनभने त्यो नभइकन चाहिँ हामी अगाडि नै बढ्न गाह्रो हुन्छ के। त्यो भएर त्यो चाहिँ इम्पोर्टेन्ट हो। त्यसमा थप मात्रै मेरो।
No,
Okay,
so
thank you.
yeah. No, you said
you can add, Devendra.
Yeah, because I can read that the person, us again, we are hanged from morning to evening of all information. So my concern is how can we manage our life? Now that is, I have Buddha's quote now. Does a change come from within? So no one is going to change you until and unless you change yourself. Yes, I also hanged on the data information. There comes to information on my hang on to that. I watch the lectures from Howard University, Michael Sandel's lecture. So I attend philosophical debates online. So how you actually use this online is completely upon you. So it's not possible until and unless the change comes from within. It is for individual host, a country host, a JC host, we need change. So I think it's a very subjective question.
Yes, आफैबाट हुनु पर्यो के मेन कुरा। आफैबाट भयो मात्र त्यो हुन सक्छ। Okay.
Exactly.
To development of ICT in our country, not in our country, all over the world. So only government is not sufficient. We have to do the PPP model, public-private partnership model. And then after that, in the case of public-private partnership, some resources we can utilize from the private also. Some export also we can utilize from the private also. And then jointly work together. Then after that, we can develop our ICT in our country. The most important is the PPP. So the privatization also most important in some cases, but monitoring and controlling mechanisms should be inside the government. This is the policy related matter, policy related. Nepal government should adopt or make a policy for this particular case. Then after that, the private company can invest in our country for the resources like infrastructure development, other human resource development, and other also. This is the policy related. Policy you need to develop for this particular case. No, in Nepal, there are so many data centers are available now, private data centers, yeah. Private data centers, they are providing the cloud service for our Nepal government and other private sectors also. In Nepal inside, we have so many such type of project is going on. Main thing is that why we are kept our data in our side also. Yeah, main thing is that some security region, that's why we have government integrated data center. The government security all are kept inside the government data center. For the public or maybe some not related to security, we can keep outside the data center also. But some MOU between the two organizations, if you want to see any access the data, then after that we have to we have to give them the authority. Without authorization and authority, we cannot manage or we cannot go through this data. Yeah, data protection is the most important part in this particular case. And in Nepal, we have so many data centers are there, private data. That's why the most of the private data are not kept outside, inside the data centers, government integrated data centers. Yeah. Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, I have one question for Professor Subarna Shakya.
Please.
Okay. What advice would you give to our young audience on who are interested in research and self-learning? What facilities or resources are available for them, for students like who want to do self-learning?
No, resources from Nepal or what?
Yes, for Nepali students.
Internationally, yeah. No, nowadays the research paradigm is changing. Yeah, we have to using some emerging technology like machine learning and some machine learning, and then after artificial intelligence. Inside this artificial machine learning, deep learning, and Internet of Things, and the cloud computing, big data. These are the few very important research nowadays. Yeah, and software development, and in cloud computing, software as a service, infrastructure as a service, and as well as the platform as a service. And security is the another part, cyber security. Yeah, I am just now nominated as a president of Center for Cyber Security and Research Center in Nepal. Yeah, and so I'm working in some cyber securities, how we can manage the cyber securities, and how can we develop some cyber securities policies. These are the few things. These are the few areas you can work in these areas: machine learning, like cloud computing, SPC. These are the few things you can do that. So it is useful for your future. The security is the most important part for the future. Yeah. Because everything is online. You can especially research in the cloud security areas. Yeah. Okay, in COVID, during the COVID and COVID, after COVID, yeah. So development is some stop now. Yeah, but most of the IT people, we are surviving because due to the IT infrastructure. Nowadays we are talking nowadays also by using Zoom. So if there is no IT infrastructure, it's difficult to survive nowadays. Yeah, because after COVID we are physically not getting any meetings, so social distance. So development is going on also, but some in IT sector, I think there is no problem. Yeah, IT sector, everybody is using the millions of people now. They are staying in home and they are using cloud computing environment, and they are doing research in this area. And the most of the cloud data center, they are providing services. If there is no online provision, then after that it's difficult to survive in this scenario, because we are nowadays some peoples have benefit by this COVID-19, and some peoples are very they have gone their works also, because we have to change our scenario. We have to think our future. If such type of evidence occurs in the future also, we have to make it visualize, and then after that we have to develop such type of infrastructure plan and policy for the future.
So I am very much fond of one German philosopher called Martin Heidegger. And what he says is, if, when something is going smooth, then we don't care about it. So everything is going smooth, who cares? So just go away. Life is fine, everything. So like if you're driving and your car is working fine, you just go here and there, right? Suddenly breakdown happens. And this COVID-19 is a kind of breakdown, okay? So then when breakdown happens, it has a positive side as well. It creates the window of opportunity, right? Then we try to go back, like let's car breakdown bar. And we go to the route and then try to figure out kun part ma ke problem, how these different parts are connected. Okay, so same with the life. The life ma breakdown, and you actually look for opportunities, possibilities, how I should actually improve these things, and same with the country or any system. So we should take the breakdown as a window of opportunity. So you can experience that. This is actually one of the possibilities created by the COVID-19, right? So I'll keep at least Nepal, higher education institutions, they started to look for the alternate possibilities, how to actually deliver this education online or other alternate way of providing the education. So when they started, then it reveals all camera limitation or limitations. Teacher problems, student technological problems. We don't have resources. Government what is the problem? So you see, everything started to reveal, and that provide us possibilities to address those issues. So I take it as a window of opportunity. I don't. So I'm not saying. Previously in one lecture, I said that I'm not saying that every time we need coronavirus to remind us about this kind of possibilities. But whenever we have this kind of disruption, we look into the possibilities, what limitation we have, and how to actually recover those. Okay, whether the life was, the engine was, or is a country or is an international arena. Norway context. Now, when we started everything online, the problem here is a bit different. We have all the resources. The problem is we found like students, parents, people have a psychological problem. Okay, so we never thought about it. Complete online lockdown, they get into psychological problems. So now, how to address those issues? So they are going to dimension. Complete isolate. We need these social interactions. Life, we cannot make everything online. Lesson we learned. Okay, so we are now trying to create a blended learning approach. Okay. Yeah, there's an online, but at the same time, how to bring them offline, industry so that we should not lose this connection. So this is how I take this pandemic. About the surveillance. Now, this is I will tell you one thing. I don't know if you have heard the name David Sinclair. He has written a book called Lifespan. And what he is actually researching is, he said, old age is a disease. It's not a natural phenomenon. And we can fix that. Okay? We identify how our signals, the cells communicate the signals, like in a computer, like TCP/IP, error, then it come back and then send the packets again. It's same like if you can fix those communication problem in a body within the cells, then we will never grow old. Okay, we will die, but we will never grow old. I am looking for that kind of research. Actually, it should be succeed, and I can eat those things. So we'll keep on saying. Now you need to use a lot of technologies because then you need to fix a lot of sensor in your body. And then there's a dashboard. So in dashboard, it will tell everything about your body, okay? How my cells are going on, working and all, but there's a security consequences. So if someone can access those data, they can actually do anything with my body, right? Then I will take question. Now, do you want 20 years of longevity using these sensors and putting your whole body movements in the dashboard, or you want to be secure? Data security, I will not use it, and then you want to die 20 years earlier. So choice is ours. So I have no answer, but I will pick for going with the dashboard. And the pandemic, COVID, if you see this technology this AI has been used a lot in South Korea, in China. That's why they control this, because the app distribute AI calculate geographical area pata lagaunthyo kaha cha haina त्यो एरियालाई चाहिँ उनीहरुले confine गरिदिन्थ्यो. So you see, it has a plus darker side पनि छ, positive side पनि छ. It's a two-edged sword. Affordance मैले भने नि त, affordance I can use the affordance of chair to sit, but also I can use it to hit. Whether you will use this chair to fight with someone or you want to use it to sit, that's our choice. And it's a difficult question, so it depends on you, what you need, what you want. You want privacy and all that things, or you want the efficiency and then control in this kind of pandemic. So हाम्रो के छ नि philosophical discussion त हुन्छ यसमा, and then we need some sort of blended approach here as well. Okay, privacy पनि हुनु पर्यो, तर यति पनि privacy भएन कि अब कोरोनाको सपोज मलाई म्यापिङ गर्नु पर्यो भने त म्यापिङै गर्न सकिरहेको छैन, भोलि चाहिँ क्राइसिस भएर अर्थक्वेक, and I'm not able to find out the demographic information. कि कतातिर चाहिँ धेरै भएछ, how should I actually send this benefit to different places? त्यसको लागि I need the data न, त कति लेभलसम्म चाहिँ डेटा कलेक्ट गर्ने, कति लेभलसम्म चाहिँ नगर्ने, त्यो चाहिँ we need the policies, education, and then awareness and all that things. Yeah, that's my answer.
Yep. So I think we're about to end the session. I mean, there are two interesting questions, right? Almost they are the same thing. One is asking where do we draw a fine line between surveillance system and the other thing, and the other question is like ethical guidelines. So I guess it's a similar question. So yeah. Can you sum up answer in just a minute, and then we'll take the last question.
Okay, in 1 minute, such a difficult question to answer. Okay, so here. As I said, the ethical framework is very important. MIT when they are building these AI systems, they are hiring philosopher of ethics. So the philosopher and then this programmer sitting together, discussing and then deciding what kind of algorithm should be designed. The approach changes. Khali technician like because they don't have the broader understanding. Khali philosopher like matter there pani hundaina because they keep on bullshitting and jaile pani chai complain गर्ने काम गर्छन् against technology. That's also not good. So we need to look into what benefit we can achieve out of it. If you read the book called Life 3.0 by Ted Tegmark, I think, so it's a very nice book. त्यहाँ त्यसले भन्छ कि how we can actually get a fine line within ethics and the AI system, new AI systems. So of course we need that kind of overall sharing knowledge and the interdisciplinary, multidisciplinary approach to science. That's very important.
हाम्रो नेपालको केसमा के छ भन्दाखेरि करिकुलमहरु डेभलप हुन्छ, चेन्ज पनि हुन्छ, त्यो भइरहेको पनि छ अहिलेको र पहिलाकोमा सिलेबसमा धेरै नै ड्रास्टिकली चेन्ज छ, नभएको हैन है, त्यो कन्फर्मै छ। एक्चुअली तपाईले पनि हेर्नु भएको हुन्छ, वेबसाइटमा छ हाम्रो। So they are changing they kept as an emerging technology subject as an elective. In some places, some syllabus is difficult to include in as a core course. Then after that we can put as elective courses. Elective course को रूपमा हामी अफर गर्न सक्छौं। कुनै नयाँ इमर्जिङ सब्जेक्टहरु आयो भने इलेक्टिभमा अफर गर्नलाई कुनै पनि गाह्रो हुँदैन। तर चाहिँ अब पुरै करिकुलम चेन्ज गर्नलाई टेक टाइम, किनभने एउटा करिकुलम बनाइसकेपछि त्यसको फेज हुन्छ, त्यसलाई कम्प्लिट गर्नुपर्छ। कम्प्लिट गरिसकेपछि मात्रै त्यसलाई फेरि हामी रिभाइज गर्न सक्छौं। र यदि मैले अघि भने नि यदि नयाँ कसैको कोर्स इमर्जिङ आयो भने हामी त्यसमा इलेक्टिभको रूपमा अफर गर्दाखेरि सजिलोसँग हुन्छ। र नेपालको सिलेबसहरु पनि नराम्रो चाहिँ होइन, किनभने हाम्रो बीएससी सीएसआईटी सिलेबस देखि लिएर देन आफ्टर इन्जिनियरिङको सिलेबसहरु चाहिँ अब यो इन्टरनेशनल स्ट्यान्डर्डमा हामीले बनाउन खोजेका छौं। म चाहिँ अब त्यो सबै सिलेबस बनाउनमा इन्भल्भ प्रायः जस्तो म भइरहेको हुन्छु, एज अ एक्सपर्ट हिसाबले बनाउनुहुन्छ। र हामीले चाहिँ बनाउँदाखेरि चाहिँ त्यस्तो खालको चाहिँ इन्टरनेशनली स्ट्यान्डर्डको चाहिँ बनाउन नि खोजेको हुन्छु। र हाम्रो सिलेबसहरु पनि नराम्रो चाहिँ छैन। र अर्को कुरा के भन्दाखेरि वी क्यान अपग्रेड इट हैन, इमर्जिङ टेक्नोलोजिज। अब नाउ द बीएससी सीएसआईटी अल्सो भेरी excellent syllabus nowadays, because the teaching and learning methodology we have to change it. Then after that we have to make it pedagogy into digital pedagogy मा अब जानु पर्छ। र अघि कुरा आयो ब्लेन्डेड मोडलमा हामी जानु पर्छ। र ब्लेन्डेड मोडल हाइब्रिड मोडलमा गयो भने सायद यो फ्युचरमा पनि हामी अनलाइन एज वेल एज द अफलाइन दुईटै किसिमले गर्न सक्छौं। र इन्क्लुडहरु हामी यो सिलेबसमा चाहिँ गरिरहेकै हुन्छौं। त्यसमा चाहिँ अब हाम्रो विद्यार्थीसँग पनि फिडब्याकहरु लियो भने सायद त्यो पाउँछ पनि होला। ल मै भनौँ है यसमा। अब फ्युचर आईसीटी इज द आईसीटी भनेको त फ्युचर छ नि, किनभने एभ्री डे लाइफ्स विदाउट आईसीटी वी क्यानट सर्भाइभ नाउडेज। किन आईसीटी भनेको त साह्रै इम्पोर्टेन्ट भइसक्यो नि, के टुल्स हो नि त्यो, वी क्यान युज एज अ टुल्स इन आवर लाइफ। किनभने हाम्रो डेली लाइफको लागि हामी टुल्सको रूपमा युज गर्ने भएकोले त्यसकारण चाहिँ त्यसको फ्युचर भनेको स्कोप छ। अब त्यसलाई चाहिँ अब मिसयुज गर्नु भएन। वी क्यान युज इट for the development of the nation. ICT for development हो नि, किनभने ICT ले डेभलप गर्न सक्छौं त कुनै पनि नेसनलाई, किनभने कन्ट्रीलाई चाहिँ अब कुनै पनि नलेज बेस्ड सोसाइटी, नलेज बेस्ड इकोनोमी बनाउनमा धेरै महत्त्वपूर्ण भूमिका खेलेको छ। नलेज बेस्ड इकोनोमी, नलेज बेस्ड सोसाइटीको लागि र अर्को चाहिँ के भयो त भन्दाखेरि अनि ह्युमन रिसोर्सहरु पनि आईटी बेसमा बनायो भने के हुने भयो त, सबैजना चाहिँ राम्रै ह्युमन रिसोर्सहरु चाहिँ नलेजेबल ह्युमन रिसोर्सहरु बन्छ, नलेज वर्करहरु आउँछ। त्यसले गर्दाखेरि के हुन्छ भन्दाखेरि फ्युचरको हाम्रो स्कोप चाहिँ एकदमै नेपालको लागि मात्रै हैन, संसारमै यसको स्कोप देखिएको छ। किनभने आईटी बेसमा देखिहाल्नु भयो, हरेक कुरा चाहिँ आईटी बेस नै भइसकेको हुनाले अब जस्तै कुनै पनि कम्प्युटेसनल गर्ने होस्, ह्युमन बिइङले गर्न नसक्ने कम्प्युटेसनल यति फास्ट यसले गर्छ भन्दाखेरि यसको चाहिँ महत्त्वपूर्ण त्यतिका साथ लिन सकिन्छ। र ह्युमनको डेभलपमेन्ट, डिजिटल डिभाइडलाई घटाउनको लागि, ह्युमन डेभलपमेन्टको लागि र संसारमै अब चेन्ज ल्याउनको लागि आईसीटी वी क्यान युज एज अ टुल्सको रूपमा चाहिँ लिएर हामीले डेभलप गर्यो भने पक्कै पनि हाम्रो नेसन चाहिँ एकदमै अगाडि बढ्छ र नलेज बेस्ड सोसाइटी, नलेज बेस्ड इकोनोमीमा त्यसले चाहिँ प्रभावकारी भूमिका खेल्छ। र अर्को चाहिँ के हुन्छ भने करप्सन फ्री भयो। अघि मैले पनि भनिसकेँ, यसमा ई गभर्नेन्सलाई इम्प्लिमेन्टेसन गर्नु धेरै नै इफेक्टिभ रूपमा सजिलो हुन्छ। थ्यांक यू। देवेन्द्र, डाक्टर देवेन्द्र, you can add something.
Okay, so let's we started with what is ICT for D, right? Some stories. So you can see that the ICT side, a lot of stories are there, development side. And then main question is how this ICT link to development, right? That's a major question that I'm looking for last 10, 11, 12 years. I haven't found the answer yet, but I'm still exploring how to link this ICT with development, right? How to provide this freedom of choice to the people, marginalized people, right? So that they can get access to education, healthcare, and then income generating activities. The main request, Johnny, I like the beautiful mind, bright, and I'm really, really inspired to see you guys. Online, that's really, really remarkable. Okay, so the whole idea is whatever you are learning, whatever you are learning, how will you make it possible so that you can create awareness to see the affordances of the ICT, okay? Those affordances, and the affordances like actualize garera, and you actually create the environment. You means not just you, I mean, including all government policy and everything. So how should we create that environment that leads to people, they can live the life is the value, okay? So please try to find this link. The link is ICT matra bujera hundaina हैन. Okay, this is ICT, this is that, and that AI system ले चाहिँ जुन movie हेर्न मनलाई त्यो देखाउँछ भने it's not leading to development. Okay, maybe entertainment हुन्छ, but it's not leading to development. The question now is how can we actually create this freedom of choice to education, to healthcare, to income generating activities? The pura country ko hernu parदैन के. You can take the example of Mahavir Pun. Okay, he started with 5 villages, extended to 400 villages. He's still doing. That was actually my PhD case study thing. So we can learn from there. Okay, सानो incremental हामीले के गर्न सकिन्छ, हैन? You try to do that and see how we can make this farmer at least to understand the affordance of, let's say, mobile phone. तपाईको चाहिँ म्याग्दीमा चाहिँ भनौँ न के अरे orange सुन्तला भइरहेछ, त्यसको लागि मार्केट कसरी खोजिदिनु त? Can we design some app या चाहिँ तरिका केही प्रोसेसर भनिदिनु पर्छ, हैन? If we can help in that small things, it's a big change for the farmer's life, right? So just keep that approach and use your education for the purpose of creating, inspiring, and then contributing something to the society. Yati भनेर चाहिँ I'll just close. Thank you very much.